All right, Jim, your quarterlies look very good. How are things going at the library?
Oh, I told you couldn't close it, so.
So you've come to the master for guidance? Is this what you're saying, Grasshopper?
Actually, you called me in here. But, yeah.
All right, well, let me show you how it's done. Yes, I'd like to speak to your office manager, please. Yes, hello. This is Michael Scott. I am the regional manager of Dunder Mifflin Paper Products. Just wanted to talk to you, manager. All right, done deal. Thank you very much, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. My mistake. That was a woman I was talking to. She had a very low voice. Probably a smoker. So that's the way it's done.
How do y'all watch The Office? That's the greatest show on TV. Michael Scott knows how to put himself in the most awkward situations. And he's the type of guy who thinks he's extraordinary, but he's really not. And he wants everybody else to believe that he's extraordinary, but everybody realizes how ordinary that he really is. There's nothing greater than someone who thinks that they're extraordinary when they're not. But what's great about God is he takes ordinary people and he makes them extraordinary. And so we're going to talk about Nehemiah today. Nehemiah is one of my favorite people. We're going to jump through the whole book, so I'm just going to kind of share the story verbally instead of making you read all the chapters of Nehemiah. We'll be here a little while. So you can kind of find your place in Nehemiah. Look, I titled this conversation The Office, going from ordinary to extraordinary, because so many times in life we can get so caught up in the mundane. We can get caught up in going from practice to football and t-ball and little league, and we can get caught up in going to church, and all of a sudden life can become so routine. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things, but when they become a routine in our lives, it limits our ability to be extraordinary. And what it makes us is ordinary. And I do the t-ball, all right, I go to the practices, and I deal with all of that. But when we get caught up in a routine, and when life, and when life can just happen, we can be so caught up in it. And so that's what I love about Nehemiah. Nehemiah was a guy who would get up and he would go to work. This was a guy who was cupbearer to the king, was his title. And it's not really a glamorous position, all right? He was supposed to drink, he drinks, make sure the guy didn't die. All right, and that was what he did. And that's not really a glorious job, okay? But he got up every day and he went to work. And he had a great attitude. He was faithful and he worked hard. And one day, Nehemiah went and was having some coffee with some of his guys. And Nehemiah said, how are things over in Jerusalem? And they began to share that the walls have been destroyed and that the gates have been burned and that it's in rubble and it's a disgrace. And in that moment, something snapped from the inside of Nehemiah. The Bible says that he began to pray and fast and seek God. What started out as a normal day, what started out as a routine, what started out as a couple of guys catching up, changed the course of Nehemiah's life forever. And what I love about Nehemiah is a lot of us get so caught up in the routine that we let those things pass us by. And Nehemiah refused to allow this moment to pass him by. Something burned on the inside of him. There was nothing great about Nehemiah. He wasn't an executive or a CEO. He was on the lowest of the low totem poles. I don't know where he was in line when they were handing out positions, but he got the cupbearer instead of the doctor. All right, this was not a guy who had any power. And he shows up, according to the Jewish calendar, 9 months later. He kept working, and in 9 months, finally he couldn't contain what was on the inside of him. And he showed up